What up, everyone? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Hope you are having a good weekend so far. What's up, Cat fan? How y'all doing? Should be a fun one. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as the Texas game. Look, this is Western Carolina here coming in after a loss to Cincinnati in their season opener, a 38.5-point underdog. This is going to be a walkover. So I think we're just going to have to make our own fun, so to speak, here. I don't know if CW22 will work. Well, the CW is working for me, actually, for YouTube TV. This is not an ESPN game, thankfully, so I can actually watch it on my YouTube TV, which is going to be nice. Which means I get to rewind and all that good stuff. And maybe, are we going to get... Let's see if we get, we'll figure out a way to make that work. We'll figure out a way to make our replays work. Let's see, that's over there. Maybe. Zoom in, zoom out. How did we used to do this? We used to do like that, and then we used to do like that. Makes it work, no? Picture. Okay. There we go. You put the. It does. Yeah, it should work, especially for the local folks, I would think. Oh well, we'll get this stuff to work at some point in the day, I would think. All right. Fair enough. So here we go, folks. Let's go that there. Scoreboard will be up in a second as we tip off. I guess we're not actually going to tip off on time. This is worse scheduling than the ESPN times. So the Duke football also playing. I believe they kick off in about an hour or 2 hours. They're up at UConn today, which is sort of an odd game, out of conference. Last time I checked, yeah. So they kick off at 2:30, so that'll be right after. Yeah, Texas. I was watching the Texas Tech BYU. They were looking actually quite good. I don't know really anything about either team, but that was presumably, I guess, the more entertaining one. I guess the Georgia Mississippi State. I don't know what the score of that one is. Where is Georgia? Okay, UGA up 17-7, so decently competitive game too. But that Texas Tech 13-0. I mean, it's only a 13-point game, right? Like BYU still has it's 2 possessions, plenty of second half there. It looks like Indiana up 17-7 on Penn State. It's too bad the trajectory of Penn State this year. The way that they've gone, that Indiana-Penn State game at the start of the season would have presumably been a very good game. But obviously the way that things have gone, not great. So, all right, welcome to the first home game of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Jon Scheyer now has 90 wins as the Duke head coach with that win over Texas, as Duke welcomes the Western Carolina Catamounts, who are currently 0-1. Duke, of course, coming off the 75-60 win there against the Longhorns in Charlotte the other night, not too far from Cameron, while Western Carolina dropped its season opener 94-63 to Cincinnati back on November 3rd. That would have been Monday. And as we were saying, the 38.5-point favorite to Duke Blue Devils here. No, sorry, 34.5 was the betting line as of last night. Duke having won 43 consecutive home openers, not really surprising given that most home openers are against the level of competition like Western Carolina. But this is the 4th meeting between the programs, Duke winning all 3 prior meetings, the latest one coming in 2015. It was the year before I got back to school there for business school, so I did not actually see them play Western Carolina. But in any case, so... a couple things to, obviously we know all the Duke stuff and how the game against, Texas went. Isaiah Evans, career high, 23 points, sensational opening game for him. Really looking for him to have a big sort of step up in production this season. we need it. We need him to be like that really consistent scorer. Cam Boozer, I guess, had a quote unquote bad game of sorts. I guess if that's a bad game by Cam Boozer, I can't wait to see what the good games by Cam Boozer are going to be. But yeah, scoreless in the first half, which was a little sort of kept us a little on edge as far as how things were progressing there. Did have 3 rebounds in that first half, and then ultimately ended the game with a double-double, basically the entire double-double coming in that second half, 15 points and 12 rebounds, while also dishing out 3 assists. So ultimately ended up very, very good for Cam Boozer, as we would expect. But yeah, a little shaky first half of college, but I suspect he's probably going for 20 tonight, or this afternoon. Gungwa also finished with 10 points. Nice to see. Sarr in his college debut, Dame Sarr, 8 points, 6 boards, and 3 steals. Great energy too. Although he almost actually had the double figures. And now when I think about it, he did miss that dunk there in the first half that was wide open. So that was not great. Hopefully we don't have a repeat of that tonight. Still, Duke trailed at half, despite the way that the things went. Kind of like the Tennessee exhibition, actually. We saw Duke trail at half of that Tennessee exhibition against a quality opponent, and Duke trail again at half against a quality opponent in Texas. 33-32 was the score there at halftime, but similar to the Tennessee game, Duke comes out 10-0 run to start the second half. Just never look back after that. Duke held Texas to 60 points. Which is kind of interestingly like where we were holding teams last year. So the defense against more quality opponents, at least a quad 2 opponent, probably a quad 1 opponent by the time it's all said and done there against Texas, still being consistent. I think we were averaging around 62, 63 points per game allowed last season. So the defense still there despite all the new faces, which is really nice to see. Texas only scored 27 after the half, and only made 9 field goals and just 6 free throws. Duke ended up well over 20 free throws, which was pretty good. So we know everything about our Duke Blue Devils, and we expect them to play quite well tonight. So it should be. How are we all watching the game? The CW app doesn't have the game. It's on YouTube TV for me, which is a rarity because I can barely watch no other sports. So, yeah, YouTube TV actually has this one particular game. None of the ESPN stuff. I made a joke with my brother today as to which one is going to last longer, the government shutdown or the Disney and YouTube TV dispute. I suppose not really which one lasts longer, but which one actually gets resolved first. And I don't know. Right now, it's not looking good for either of them. So I'm not really. I think that's at this point. To me, it seems like a pure 50-50 prop bet. I'm not really sure which way I would go with that one. I have no idea why we're still have Jay Wright talking here, though. Like, come on, boys. We need to start this game. I got to be somewhere at 3:30 my time. So, we got to be in and out. Let's go. It's 12:39. This game was supposed to start at 12:30 Central, and we're 10 minutes late. I don't know what we're doing here. I'm almost out of. I'm almost out of my pregame, all my stats and content here. Make it happen. Countdown to tip-off. 5. Who does this? 5 more minutes. What? Oh my God! I'm gonna have to do a song and dance. Welcome in, yeah. Archangel, Brad Thornton, Cat Fan, Keon. Great to have you all here. Happy Saturday to y'all. All right, well, let's talk about Western Carolina. Not that I suppose it'll matter one way or the other, but anyway, the ones to watch for the Catamounts, which is kind of a fun mascot, actually. Cord Stansberry, number 0 here. The the guard is a redshirt junior. 23 points in the game against Cincinnati. So 23 out of 64, so he's got a little over a third of the team's points there in that particular game. 9 of 19 from the field and 4 of 9 from 3. Interestingly, the Western Carolina Catamounts did hit 9 made 3-pointers, which is pretty decent, actually, against Cincinnati. The problem for them really was they had 22 turnovers and 23 fouls. And 28 of the 28 points off turnovers for Cincinnati, which, doesn't really lead you to winning many games. Look out for number 0, Cord Stansberry there for the Catamounts. The other one is Julian Samaro, another guard, graduate student, number 3, the perimeter threat, 13 points, 5 of 12 shooting. So they're definitely, these guys are shooting volume here. 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. So between Stansberry and Samaro there, what's it now? 7, let's do math, 7 of 17, and they made 9 3-pointers. So there's number 0 and number 3, the 3-point threats there for the Catamounts. He also had 5 rebounds there. Averaged about 13 points per game from Gardner Webb, where he transferred from. But actually, Prone, did have 4 turnovers there. So let's see if Duke can ramp up the pressure on the Catamount guards and force those turnovers like Cincinnati did. Cincinnati forcing 22 turnovers. Oddly enough, the scoreboard today will have turnovers, so I was able to make some changes to the scoreboard. That'll show up as soon as the game starts. So we did add minutes to we added minutes to the player stats, so that'll be we can keep track of who's playing and for how long. We did add a last play bar, which should be nice to help us keep track of the game as it's going along, and then we added the turnovers to the team stats. So some fun improvements. I did. Was it the turnovers one was the toughest one to add? I spent was on Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday night. Spent 90 minutes trying to add this thing, and then only to realize that the way that the AI had written the code was the variables were were completely wrong, and I was trying to give it one particular variable that I had no idea, it just would not find. I was putting in TOTO is the abbreviation for total turnovers or something, and it was it had a totally different name for the stat, and I was like, this is terrible. But in any case, yeah. So we fixed it. This is as I've learned from my my developer friends who use AI all the time. They're like, yeah, the AIs are nice, but at the end of the day, they're just like junior devs at this point, and you end up having to clean up their mess. So that's kind of what I learned the other day. The AIs have yet to take over. I think humanity is safe at least for another several years. So, yeah. The Terminator is not coming for us anytime soon. Thankfully, I guess. So I guess we're starting 15 minutes late. Fashionably late here. Which is great. All right. Great, because I'm out of content. Time to start the game. How is everybody? Folks, I could use some fantasy advice. Let's see. So for this week, look, I avoided the disaster. Okay, by the way, that Thursday night football game was the worst football game I think I've seen all season. It was really bad. But I did avoid the disaster of playing Bo Nix. I'm a huge Bo Nix fan. He was fun to watch at Oregon. I picked him up in the second half of the season last year after I was having a mid-year, a mid-fantasy season. Picked him up. And he led me into the playoffs. Whatever. I crashed out in the playoffs, but it is what it is. I'm a big fan of Bo. Obviously he's a man of Christ. It's good. It's good. It's all good. But yeah, that was going to be I was like, yeah, Thursday night, probably not the best. I ended up going with Jackson Dart. But the problem with Jackson Dart is that he's playing in Chicago tomorrow. And there's this huge polar vortex coming in that's going to hit the entire country, right? We're supposed to go down into the 40s here in Austin, down in the middle of Texas tomorrow. And it's okay, wow. So, but Chicago is probably going to be wind and rain. And I don't know. That's it seems a little suspect. So if we have alternative ideas, I I'm all for them. All right, let's turn the scoreboard on and let's see if this thing works. All right, so yeah, look at that. Jump ball lost by Western Carolina. I don't know if we should center that or what we should, but the Duke players are not showing up. Hide 0 minutes. No. This should work. It would be really not great if it didn't work, but we'll see. I guess, yeah, this will be not fun if it does not work. It worked while I was testing it. Oh, okay, we have one personal foul, so that's correct. But I guess they actually have to play for 1 minute. I guess we have to play for at least 1 minute for them to show up. For their minute to not be 0. I see. I figured that like it would automatically populate the starters, but I guess I was wrong. So now I'm gonna have to rethink that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rethink that. I was like, oh, if they're starting, it'll give them 1 minute from like the get-go, so they'll always show up. Turns out that's not true. So, in any case, the Catamounts are at the free throw line. So let's see if, well, let's see. This guy's got 1 rebound here, so. All right. So this is what we're about to find out. Because we stopped at 19:03, so technically nobody has played for 1 minute. Although we do have points on the board here for Carolina. And why am I? My Catamounts are like, that's not good. I'm gonna have to like squish the Gamecast over here. There we go. So Western Carolina draws first blood, up 2-0. Everybody start panicking. Actually, no, nobody panic. That's a missed shot by Duke here. There is no way that Duke is losing this game today at all, okay? So, in any case, this is Highland here for the Catamounts. And, okay, we do have some minutes played, although it's kind of curious that the minutes played stat doesn't actually populate the way I would think. Western Carolina's got another 2. Okay. We see that. So Marcus Kelly there, number 23. All right. No Duke players on the scoreboard yet, despite the fact that they should have 2 minutes played. I don't know what the hell this is. We'll have to fix it later. Bit of a sloppy start indeed, I agree. So it's kind of curious that Cam Boozer here shows up, but the other ones don't. There is also a... okay, I know how to fix it. I'll fix it later. I'm going to have to there's a designation that some players get because they're starters. And I'm basically just going to have to key off of that designation. And I think it's good. They're just going to have to like show, regardless, like always show starters or something like that. But in any case, all right, so here we go. Let's like settle into the game here. 2-2, Cameron Boozer. No, Cam Boozer's got 3. So we got the and 1 out of that one. So here we go. What's up, Andy? How you doing? Okay, that shot does not go. As the rebound there, that was Gungba there with a rebound. Isaiah Evans is going to get himself fouled. No. Yeah, it is Evans. Evans was going baseline, going to get himself fouled there. I do kind of love it how Carlos Boozer is going to be at every Duke game watching his kids play. It's great to have that kind of aura in the building. You know, I can't like, I don't, it has to be like the first like generational Duke player, right? There isn't like, has there ever been another Duke player where they're I'm not talking like walk-ons here. I'm talking like real like starters where they're like parents played, and now Cam Boozer's going to get 3. Oh, he is going to get that one. Nice shot. Cam Boozer off the left wing. Yes, Duke has football straight after basketball. I do wonder if they scheduled them that way. where they're like, actually, no, we can't play this game any earlier because it would conflict with the basketball game. So we're gonna have to schedule this at 3:30. We're gonna have to push the start time of the football game, and then UConn somehow like agreed to it, basically. Three-pointer no good by Western Carolina. And we got another three on the way here by number 9. That's no good either, so that rims out. Gongba down with a rebound as Duke clears that. Foster pushing this up the floor. Duke 6, Carolina 4. All 6 Duke points to Cam Boozer as Foster tried the 3 but couldn't get it. So fast start for number 12. As we said the other day, we had a bad Cam Boozer game. But we expected probably at least 20 points for him today as Western Carolina almost loses the handle on this one and recovers it. So no turnover there. That's a tough shot. But great defense, actually, by Dame Sarr. That Evans, actually, with the defense there. I thought it was number 7. Substitutions for both teams. Duke probably going to play its full 9-man rotation. I would guess actually probably more than 9. Maybe we see Ufuchukwu today. Ufu, maybe. Or I would like an explanation as to why he's not playing. Oh, shot clock violation. Was that a shot clock violation, or did they get off 3? It turns out they will wipe it off. No, yeah, count it. Okay. Andy, are you in, Cameron? That is, actually, are you talking about the CW commentary? Oh, the Jaminski one. I like Mike, man. I gotta say, I'm a fan. No, it does not count. Okay, wipe it off there. Okay, so interestingly enough, I get a chance to look here for a second. What is this? So curious as to like why. Oh, sorry. Back to the scoreboard here. I'm looking at why the box score does not. Team statistics. Totals. Oh, yeah, okay. Interesting. Like, it doesn't actually return the minutes. The minutes played is like not a stat that can be used. Apparently, not a stat that can be used reliably, which is very bizarre. Is you have people. I expected better of ESPN, but at the same time, that's a terrible expectation to have. Yeah. What is this? Like the minutes, like they're just zeroing it out. I'm literally being griefed here. My sensational plan to display things properly is being completely railroaded by the ineptitude of ESPN yet again. So it's not my fault, chat. It's not my fault. The scoreboard will update as it goes, as ESPN fixes itself. the real sports app does the minutes for players. Yeah, I have to like wonder if there's like a better data source, and I can tap into that. Malik Brown there with a nice dunk. He's on the board. Malik Brown's got 2. Does him sparingly in against Texas. I mean, he looked good. There's ratcheting up the defense there. Darren Harris into the game now as Western Carolina puts up a really tough shot, but Duke can't corral the rebound. As man, we had a problem rebounding against Texas. We actually never like flipped the rebounding. We were -9, I think it was, at halftime, and ended the game at like -4. So we did improve throughout the game, but like never actually fixed it. Kamenia in the right-hand side, wide open. Defense lost him in transition as Nick Kamenia hits for 3. Okay, the Yahoo Sports one might be better. All right, we can give that a try too. I just have to rewrite the entire app. That would be oh man, that might be painful actually. We'll have to see. Kamenia brings down the rebound here. Harris calling for it, but Kamenia is going to keep. And there's the pick and roll action with Malik Brown. Finds Cam Boozer in the right-hand corner, right outside. Reverses the ball out to his brother Caden. Caden can't hit the 3. And the rebound down to the Catamounts. Great ball movement there, actually, by Duke on that particular possession. 3 on the way here for the Catamounts. Kamenia down with the weak side board yet again. The kid's got, at least 2 boards at this point. My God, cross-court pass between Malik Brown. That was a missile as Caden is going to go to the rack and absorb the foul from number 4 there for the Catamounts. As Caden will go to the free throw line here. Caden played sparingly the other day too. You know, I do wonder actually if the whole minutes thing is only like if they're playing. I feel like the stats are better if it's an ESPN broadcast. Caden number 2, the other Boozer, Archangel. Yeah, I feel like the stats are better if it's an ESPN broadcast. Oh my gosh, the alley-oop from Darren Harris can't connect there with Gongba, but the 3 from Kamenia is no good either. And that'll be out of bounds. No, keep it here with the Catamounts. Yeah, Andy, so like apparently their minutes are only showing up if they actually do something else, like if they foul or if they rebound or if they have points. The intent was that the minutes should show up regardless of what they do, so they should be displayed at any point, even if they have no points or rebounds, but they were in the game, then they would show up on the scoreboard. That's the intent, right? That's like how it's supposed to be as written. But like, clearly that's not what's happening. At least that's not what's happening right now. Maybe at some point it'll fix itself. But my fantastic plan and devious schemes have apparently met reality. But in any case, 13-6 here as Duke did get off to a bit of a slow start, but seems to be picking it up here. Still a bit of a sloppy game. I mean, we're shooting 45%. It's not as bad as Western Carolina. It's shooting 16.7 right now. Apparently, Catfan is cooking pasta here, and it'll be a great transition if Caden hits a shot, so I can say that he's also cooking something, and he does. Caden with a 2-point mid-range floater right below the free throw line, managing to cook himself up a 4-point game so far. Eclipses his total from the Texas game. Another 3 on the way. This is just way too long. And Caden's got the rebound. And it's Caden coming up the floor here. Cross-court pass to Kamenia. Kamenia shot fakes, and Kamenia now on the dribble drive gets fouled. You know, if it's just a freshman playing 3 minutes and getting a single rebound, they should acknowledge that few minutes. Yeah, that's the point. They should just it should always just show up. Anyway, Kamenia at the free throw line here. Great dribble drive. I love the shot fake. Yeah, he does seem to have this like signature shot fake and drive move. I do wonder if like teams will scout him out at some point to be like, actually, yeah, you just can't fall. You have to like stay grounded when he shot fakes you, so that you don't let him buy you. Because as soon as he shot fakes you, he's driving, and you bite, he's driving. At least that's kind of what I've noticed. That's like his go-to move. So let's see how that goes. Both shots make it in as Duke's open 17-6 here. And Duke bringing full court pressure and will actually get a bit of a trap there. A double team between Kaminia and Sar. Yeah, Caden's doing really well so far. I mean, his brother Cam's got 6, but he's on the bench. Like, we're gonna see the full depth of Duke today, for sure. Got far. Western Carolina has to really engage offense well beyond the 3-point line, and they're going to call a foul there on number 12 as an offensive moving screen. So that'll be a turnover, a foul called on Dada. And Duke's second unit here actually playing very, very well in this sort of exhibition. Nice pass down low to Gungba, and Gungba's going to throw it up. That's a slam. Assist to Kaminia on that one as Gungba extends the lead now 19-6. Duke by 13. Turnaround jump shot for the Catamounts. No good. Gungba trying to come down the rebound. Cannot. Picked up by number 23 there for the Catamounts. And a 3 on the way for Western Carolina. That's a brick high off of the glass. Gongwa down with a rebound, and Darren Harris pulls this out as we resume the Duke offense here. 4 around the perimeter for the Blue Devils, and Kaminia is going to take 3 from the wing, left wing there. That shot is short. Rebound down to the Catamounts, who are now trying to push in transition. Kaminia gets taken to the ground. The ball is loose. Body's on the floor as Harris is now on the ground, and that's going to be out of bounds. As both Harris and Gungbo were on the ground. You love to see the effort. You love that effort, man. Let's see if we can get the replay going here. Come on. Come on. Okay, all right. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to do that. I can't click on anything. I'm being griefed by all sorts of technology today. It's a problem. Picture in picture, please? Hello? No? Okay. All right, we're just going to like... Wow, that's wonderful. Literally crazy, man. I can't... I restarted it and it still doesn't do it. That's crazy. The CW is griefing me. All right. I don't know. That's unfortunate. Move it. Nope. And now I'm never going to get it back. All right. Oh, yeah. Now I just completely lost my picture-in-picture. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't even know how to get it back. Oh, my. Fun times. Only the app showing minutes. Yeah, I don't know what the... In any case. I wonder if it'll fix itself as, like, we get through... Like, again, I think if it was an ESPN game, it would have it, but it's not an ESPN game, so they're probably getting the stats from somewhere else. And that, like, wherever they're ingesting the stats data is just not giving it to them. So Duke resumes here. Rather, Western Carolina resumes here. And we have a foul against Kamenia. And we might have some blood on the court, actually. Kamenia got this dude up high. And line change for the Blue Devils as the starters are back. Foster, Evans, Cam Boozer, so we have to specify. We got Gungba and Sar. Actually, we have about half a line change. 3 or so Blue Devils coming back. Driving here is Marcus Kelly. Can't come up with it. Does get his own miss, though. The turnaround jump shot, and that's short. Gungba recovers it, and would have been a shot clock violation, but Duke clears the rebound. Great defense by the Blue Devils. As Boozer is going to shoot for 3 again, and he's going to miss that. Dame Sar with a weak side board there, and that is going to be out of bounds on the Catamounts as the ball caroms towards the Catamount bench. Sar was trying to get it outside to Foster right before he lost his balance, and it was deflected out of bounds by number 2 there for the Catamounts. There's Stansberry there, number 0. Is the one who got hit by Kamenia, but he seems to be okay. I thought there was he had a bloody nose, but doesn't look like it, so. 19-6. Blue Devils on top. Sar one-on-one, gonna get it to Foster. Gonna try the pick and roll with Gungba. And actually, we'll go to Gungba, and Gungba will just put it up. Has to barely jump. The dude is so tall, he like has to barely jump to get this in. And the Catamounts don't really have an answer for him, to be honest. They do have some height. There are some guys from the Catamounts that are over 6'10", but certainly not if the athleticism of Gungba. Let's see if we go back to Gungba. Foster now decides to go outside. Caden thought about the 3. We'll put it on the deck and drive again. And we'll get a foul there against number 12. Did anybody else watch the UNC game the other day? I watched the second half. Well, I watched part of the second half of the UNC game. I feel like the UNC is a bunch of cowards, though, for not. They played Kansas they had Kansas come to them. Like they played Kansas at home, and so like. I would have thought that UNC and Kansas, when I saw that game, would have been at a neutral site. Kind of like we're playing at a neutral site. Well, it's part of the Champions Classic, and I guess Carolina isn't invited to such events. But, yeah. So, in any case, the fact that Kansas went to Carolina and lost at Carolina, it's not a bad loss for Kansas, but it is like, you're like, okay, yeah, like you beat Kansas at home, sure, like, fine. I get it. Maybe they'll go to Kansas. Oh, Nick, you're saying they were playing like a home and away? That's interesting. I do feel like, yeah, I could see both arguments actually play out because like it's a great game for the fans, right? For your home court fans, it's awesome to have those types of like marquee matchups. And they're a lot of fun. They're like a lot of hype, and then like I've been at Duke when you have these marquee programs come in and play, so it is kind of cool to do it that way. But I suppose for the sake of fairness, I guess it should just be at a neutral court. Sarr tweaks an ankle here. He looks like he's going to be fine, though. Yes, we did do a home and away with Arizona. That's true. Oh, Dame Sarr came down on a Catamount player's foot, and that's where the ankle incident occurred. And Sarr will convert the first. Should have been at Greensboro Coliseum. No, that's still a Carolina home game, basically. That doesn't work either. Oh, Sarr misses the second. Wait, why does he have... Oh, he does get 3. This was the 3-point shot. That's right. Malik Brown will come back in, and Gangba will take a seat on the bench. Good minutes here from Gangba. 4 points, 5 rebounds so far. He's on his way to a double-double. Fun times there. As Sarr misses the third. All right, so he makes the first of 3 and then misses the ensuing 2. That's not great. Maybe his ankle was bothering him, but... yeah, you'd like to see people step up to the line and get all 3. It's not going to matter today, but in any case, there's Marcus Kelly, who puts up another brick. And the 3 still won't go for the Catamounts. Sarr, seems ankle is fine, will get fouled and go to the free throw line yet again. Duke on a 16-0 run here. Did they play a basketball game at the NGM Grand? I don't know. Usually in Vegas, where do they play in Vegas? They played in the... There's a basketball arena in Vegas. There's a... Or they just played at Allegiant Stadium. But I feel like it's T-Mobile Arena in Vegas or something like that it's called. Yeah, Sarr makes the first of the 2 here, so he's back on track. He short arms the second one. All his free throws are falling short, interestingly enough. Yeah, Sarr is all right. Malik Brown gets a jump ball here as he was trying to rip it away from Kelly. Kelly never saw him coming there. I missed the Disney basketball tournament. I actually kind of missed those multi-team events. I like when we would go out to Maui. Maui was a great one. You play in a very small gym. A lot of character, I felt like. Multi-team events, I felt like they were fun. Now there's now you don't do those things anymore. Now we have the NIL tournament where the players get to make a bunch of NIL money because they go to play and participate. It's a bit of a recruiting stunt. 3-pointer for Western Carolina. They finally hit a shot. I feel like it's been almost 10 minutes since Western Carolina hit a shot. And we got Julian there on the board finally. He's got points finally. And yeah, he has definitely not played 3 minutes. That is not right. That cannot be right. It's so far behind. Boozer driving left on Kelly. Boozer getting double teamed, but finishes anyway. And Western Carolina has no answer for Carlos Boozer, as I suspect many teams will not have an answer for Carlos Boozer this season. And Foster gets called for a foul there. Caden subs in for Foster. We need a big year for Foster too. I feel like Foster returns this season not like he was going to get drafted or anything, but he comes back for this season. He's going to have to really put up a good campaign. Let's put it that way. Behind the back pass there to Kelly, in and out on the 3. I think Western Carolina's hit 2 threes, but certainly not a great percentage. Evans for 3. No. Caden Boozer there with the rebound. Going to try to go up. He gets his man in the air. Double team there. Extra pass from Evans to Caden. Now back to Cam. As Cam 3 misses everything. Kamenia saves it. And Duke resumes here. That did not hit the rim, so the shot clock is only at 5. Evans calls it out for Caden. Caden knows he has to go, and Caden does to get that one. The rebound goes to his brother Cam, who gets another easy lay-in as Duke has opened a 20-point lead here, and the route is officially on, ladies and gentlemen, with 7:30 left in the game as the Catamounts will... That was a terrible foul by Malik Brown, and Kelly will finally score for the Catamounts. Goodness gracious, that is... That was a bad foul. That was a really bad foul there by Malik Brown. I mean, it's like he's like already beat. And anyway, all right. So, quick programming note. I think I had said before that I will be traveling this week for work. It's a game you can sleep through and not feel like the game changed much. I mean, pretty much. But you know what? I still enjoy being out here with you all. So I cleared my Saturday afternoon for the game. We were going to watch it one way or the other. We may as well do it with other people. Do it together. It's more fun that way. As I was saying, though, I will be traveling this week. So no game on Tuesday is the Army game, actually. That'll be on Veterans Day, which is kind of a Duke thing. We always seem to play Army on Veterans Day, which is pretty cool. Of course, with the Mike Krzyzewski connection there. So there'll be no stream on Tuesday. I suspect we will win without much of a, much issue. We'll be back for the Friday game, though, the Friday night game against Indiana State. And then, of course, that'll be the tune-up game for Kansas the following Tuesday. And then that will be, and then so we resume regularly scheduled programming at that point. I do kind of have my fingers crossed at this point, though, that I don't actually have to travel this week, and my flight just gets canceled due to the ongoing shutdown, which seems to be extending itself. So, really, in reality, the only flight that matters is probably the boss's flight. If the boss's boss actually, if the boss's flight gets canceled, we're all staying home. So, hopefully that one, that one just gets canceled, and then we're good. We don't have to worry about the travel. So Duke to resume play here. What if Duke and UNC beat Kansas in the same week? Technically not possible, right? Given that. They'll reset the rankings this coming Monday, which I think Duke will probably move up because number 3, Florida lost to Arizona, so Florida probably won't move that much, but I suspect Duke probably comes up at number 5 in the Monday poll. So that's one thing to keep an eye out on, and then we wouldn't play Kansas until the ensuing week. Like they would restack the rankings again, and then the following Monday, and then we play Tuesday. So yeah, I mean they could have losses to both Duke and both of the Tobacco Road teams, right? Both of the Carolina Bloods. Oh, that is a sloppy handover there between Isaiah Evans and Caden, and results in a Duke turnover. Very uncharacteristic, kind of turn your brain off there for a second. Shire is not going to be too happy about that one. 7:20 here left in the first half. The Catamounts driving here. This gets outside to Somaro. 3 is good, actually. Wow, Western Carolina kind of found the range here for a second. Okay, 14-point game. Extended up to 20. But, let's see here. Isaiah Evans driving in, trying to go for the alley-oop. Actually, Gongba doesn't even jump for it. The lob pass lands in the lap here of Highland. And, the Catamounts had an opportunity. Gongba comes down with the rebound. They couldn't get it couldn't convert it. And Kaminia now driving one-on-one. Good transition D by the Catamounts. Now playing like a little bit of zone for a second, but maybe not, as Isaiah Evans' three does not go. Sorry, I paused there for a second. So Evans put up three. I was learning to see if it went. Ooh, good hands there by Caden, almost forcing a turnover. Western Carolina looking for options here beyond the three-point line. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The Duke defense holding firm. Why are they glazing Bill Belichick? I mean, why not, man? It's Bill Belichick at UNC. It's like, I don't even, that definitely did hit the rim here. Carolina recovers the offensive board. 16 rebounds for the Catamounts to 20 for Duke. Number 15, Bama beats number 5, St. John's, 103-96. And the March Madness page says contender for game of the year. Well, considering that we're only like the second game in, it would not be hard to have like game of the year so far, right? Although I guess the Florida-Arizona one would probably also be a contender for game of the year 1 week into the season, right? It's interesting, though, that we dispatched Bama with relative ease last season. I was actually pretty worried for that Bama game, but like it wasn't even competitive at the end. Like, it's kind of crazy. Again, it goes back to like the SEC seems really good, but like, is it really good? I don't know. Like, probably not. I mean, it's probably just, it's like, yeah, heavy at the top, mid everywhere else, and God, the bottom of the SEC is terrible. No better than any of the mid-majors, so. Three on the way for the Catamounts. Rebound down to Caden. Harris calling for it. Thought he had a three. Defense collapses, kicks it back outside to Caden. Caden's three is no good. Duke not shooting really well at all from three, 15.4% there, as you can see. Actually, the Catamounts right now shooting better from three than the Blue Devils. Although our overall field goal percentage there, 45.5%, dwarfing the 18% for the Catamounts, and we have another foul. March Madness people think top 10 team loses in its game of the year no matter what week it is. Too funny. Kaminia gets called for the foul there, as Cody will go to the free throw line. And he'll miss the first. Cam subs back in. Yeah, so Cam's got two fouls. That's why he was subbed out for a second. There's Cord Stansberry, makes the second, and finally on the board there. Cam inbounds to Malik Brown and gives it up to his brother Caden, as Western Carolina brings up full court pressure, actually. Trying to force Duke into some turnovers, and Duke not going for it. We got it getting really handsy here, as we have a cheap foul called on the Catamounts, and Duke will go to the free throw line. Actually, this will be the double bonus for Boozer. Only 3 turnovers for the Duke Blue Devils and 2 for the Catamounts, which is actually a great sign if you're a Western Carolina fan. I don't know how many of those there are, but in any case, I'm sure there are some of them. After 22 turnovers in the game against Cincinnati, so far only 2 in the first half against Duke. Is the SMU Boston College game a good game? I mean, it's like 2 kind of mid teams. It might be entertaining. I don't know if it's a good game. It may be entertaining, but SMU coming off that win against Miami, actually probably putting Miami's playoff hopes to bed as like the playoff rankings were revealed earlier this week. Miami was not there, I'm pretty sure. Actually, was there any ACC team there? I'd have to check the rankings again, but I don't think so. Oh, Notre Dame. Yeah, Notre Dame was in there. We'll take them for the time being, even though their revenues do not go to the ACC. Their college football revenues go directly to them, which is kind of a crazy lucrative deal. Actually, it's got a jump ball, and Duke will retain possession. Kind of missing out here on some of the loose ball rebounds, but we've hit the under 4 timeout. Yeah, so at least from what I had seen from last year was that Notre Dame was basically, the conferences split the TV revenue rights as the games go on, right? So, but since Notre Dame doesn't really have a football conference, then they pocket everything. Yeah. So even the bottom tier teams in the SEC make money as the big dogs there progress farther into the playoffs. Let's see. So quick checkup on the score. Texas Tech 19-0 at the moment. UGA is pulled away from Mississippi State over there in Starkville, 38-7. Herbert Williams, what's up? In football mode. You're in football mode, Go Duke. Yeah, well, big game up at UConn. Trying to... got to keep the momentum going here, actually. Ohio State 21-3. It's interesting to see today in College Game Day how they were saying that Texas A&M actually has like a much higher strength of schedule than the likes of OSU and Indiana. I mean, I guess Indiana and OSU are going to have to play each other for the Big Ten championship one way or the other, right? So... What's with Western Carolina using all the shot clock? Really good Duke defense. I mean, to be honest, just really good Duke defense. Like, we're just not letting them breathe. They have very little space to operate. Oh, UVA, yeah. Yeah, Notre Dame is the Carolina. Oh, UVA is what you're saying, Cat Fan. So sorry, Virginia. The Virginia Cavaliers at number 11 at the Ole Miss Running Rebels. Winner plays A&M. I got it. Okay. They actually, interestingly, so Virginia has to plays Wake Forest today, and then they have to play at Duke next week. So they play us next week, which is like super interesting. I suppose that's a must-win game for them if they're to remain in the conversation for the playoff, right? Because Duke's not. Although, our losses are to Illinois and Tulane. Nice three-pointer there by Caden Boozer. So we don't have an ACC loss yet. I mean, conceivably, you could still win. We could still win the conference, right? We'll check this at halftime. Archangel is listening to Christmas music and enjoying the Duke basketball game. Archangel, my man. Oh, yeah. It's way too early for the Christmas music. I am not a fan, but like to each their own. Live and let live. But like, I got houses here in the neighborhood that are already putting up Christmas decorations. Oh my goodness. Sar missed, this is a layup, man. He's missed the dunk in the Texas game. He's missed a layup in this game. He just, somehow it's like, maybe I wonder if it was like, he's still trying to get used to the ball or something, having played all that international ball. Like, and it's just like not working for him, but like you cannot leave those points at the rim like that. Anyway, Duke 36, Western Carolina 16. Sar for 3. That looks good. Nope, rims out of the front. Great effort by Cam Boozer, who picks it up in between 3 Catamounts. Then Harris is going to get the 3. And no good there. The poor shooting continues, but Aaron Harris will go to the free throw line for 3 shots. It sticks with you, and the older you get, you just have to love it. Oh my God. No. There's like, yeah, I was saying there's houses in the neighborhood that already have the Christmas decorations. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. It's like right after, literally like the day after Halloween, this family busted out blow up snowmen, a Santa Claus, like a blow up Christmas tree. Mind you, this is the middle of Texas, y'all. So like, there's no snow coming, but like they're ready, all right? And then you have the sane people in the neighborhood who like put out like an inflatable turkey or something. Or there's like one that like put out an inflatable dachshund that says Happy Thanksgiving. And you're like, okay, well, at least they got like in the realm, I guess they got the holiday right. They're like in the realm of reality, right? So, yeah. Harris converts on all 3 of them, all 3 free throws, that is. 39-16 here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half. Snoopy. Yeah, you can do Snoopy. Ooh, nice step back Jay. Western Carolina gets 2. Cord Stansberry connects on that one, so that's 3 points for him. Gungba gonna go. Great footwork down in the painted area. We got a timeout. Catamounts. All right, as Duke extends to 23. Use it or lose it here. Timeout for Western Carolina. Gungba having himself a nice afternoon. The 6 points for him and 6 rebounds. He's on his way to a double-double. Cameron Boozer's got 14 so far and 6 rebounds. He's played 14 minutes. That minute is accurate. That for sure. That's right. Found a guy on TikTok who has Christmas lights, nutcracker blow-ups, a polar bear statue, and 2 Christmas trees on his lawn. And it wasn't even 12 hours after Halloween ended. I mean, some people are just like getting in the spirit of the season, but I don't get it. It's crazy. They keep showing the ACC championship pictures. Well, we can't show any national championship pictures because we didn't win it. So the ACC championship is the best we're going to get. As far as I think, I have my ACC champions shirt on too. My mom got this one for me. I think she waited to buy it until we scuffed the real one. The only thing I can say, Christmas goes by too fast. If you wait after Halloween, oh my gosh. That's the thing though, right? It's like, well, is there anyone that still has Halloween decorations up? Yes. Okay. The house 1 block away still has their entire kit from Halloween. All right. There's like spiders and cobwebs and there's a giant skeleton statue. That's like animatronic skeleton thing. I don't know. At some point, they're going to take it down, but I mean, they went all out. I commend them for it. There's other people that still have their lights and stuff. I guess nice little coast to coast there. Caleb Foster turning the defense of Cam Boozer into some offense. Long range 3-pointer for Western Carolina goes down. Samaro makes that one. Duke still ahead by 21. You're talking about why they're going so deep in the shot clock. He didn't hesitate at all. He just pulled up and shot that one. With the full shot clock there. Duke going to take a timeout here as John Shire with the use it or lose it 30 seconds. Yeah, that three was decisive. It was actually, I was like, oh, okay. I see what game you've got there, my man. I respect it. Based on what John is drawing here, he's looking like there's going to be a too high screen. It could be a horn set here. You're going to pull two bigs up out of the paint to set screens at the top of the key and then send the ball handler try to go dribble down the middle. Maybe. That's what it looked like he was drawing. Let's see what happens. People next door to me had Halloween decorations in late September. And of course, the Christmas stuff went up immediately after Halloween. This is my problem, Nick. It's like people like, okay, it's like back when I was growing up, back when I was a kid, you waited, people had decency. You waited until after Thanksgiving to put up, the Christmas decorations. Let's see what we do here. Do we get the double high screen? Okay, so we get the two. We get Evans and Gongba here. Is he going to bring them up? We're going to set the screen. There's the roll by Caden. There's the other roll by Evans. Okay, so it wasn't two bigs. That opens up Cam for three. And we have a foul on the floor. To get that little sweep motion there going. But anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, there was decency in the world. And you wait until after Thanksgiving for the Christmas decorations. And then all the jingles and everything only happened when December 1st rolled around. And you could tell, like, all the marketing managers at the car companies were all giddy with excitement as they were going to debut the December, the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Whatever the Mercedes one is. Seasoned, I don't even know. In any case. And, but the thing is that people, see, here's why companies do it. It's like, I was at the HEB today and they had Christmas stuff there. And I was like, well, if people wouldn't buy it, like, oh, that was it. There were Christmas themed pretzels. And I was like, what? I was like, man, it's November 8th. Like, who's going to buy Christmas-themed pretzels? But then I thought about it for a second. And I said, okay, if you think about this from a business standpoint, right? There's definitely people that are going to buy the Christmas stuff early. Like, because there's clearly, like, this pent-up demand for... And you see it because people already put the Christmas stuff out. So clearly people want to be in the Christmas season... And they're just like ready to go. So there's like a small subset of the population that is like all pent up about this Christmas thing. And they're the ones that are going to buy your Halloween, your Christmas themed pretzels right now at the HEB. I bet you the ones buying that are the same people. It's the same customer that puts the decorations out right now. And then you start ramping up your production. So as like you only like you don't put out the full thing of pretzels right now. You start ramping up the production as you get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. So like, maybe you only produced 100, but then, next week you produce 120, and then you produce 140. And then by the time you get to Thanksgiving, you're producing 200. And then as soon as you get after Thanksgiving, you ramp it up. Now you're producing 1,000. Now you're doing the full thing because everyone is in full tilt like Christmas mode, right? So you're able actually to extract more value from the early adopters from the target market segment, the earlier you start. So it's really just a profit maximizing exercise is what this is. And that's how I've come to conclude. It is purely a profit maximizing exercise. Okay, let's see. This has to go up. We need to shift this up, apparently, because Duke has played too many players. There we go. The thing is, these companies would not do it if they weren't making money. That's the point. The fact that they are making money, they continue to push it earlier and earlier because people keep buying it. So it's actually our fault. Not the company's fault. Now, you can blame the companies for their marketing tactics, because clearly they were marketing it to something that was working, or they inceptioned the whole, like, oh, you need to start earlier. What do I think of Kansas? I honestly did not get to watch them very much. I was at the gym last night. I was just like, I was disappointed that the game actually started when it did. I thought the game was going to start at 8 o'clock. Eastern time, which would have been 7 o'clock here Central, and it started an hour earlier, and I was like, oh damn, like, so I was at the gym doing leg day last night, so I didn't have a chance to watch. I'm not falling for it. Still not decorating until after Thanksgiving. Nick is a man of class. Like, clearly, this is how it should be. All the restaurants I went to stopped selling fall stuff. Yeah, like, I can't wait until they start selling the pumpkin spice lattes year round, because the people demand it. Like, it's gonna come. It's gonna happen, folks. It's gonna happen. So, okay, what do we? Let's do a rounds here. We're all right. Let's check in on some of the scores. We've got full scoreboard. Indiana up 20-10. Again, not the greatest of games here. Georgia, sure. This BYU Texas Tech, man. I mean, Texas Tech is still like crushing here. 19-0. BYU, they keep saying that BYU can afford a loss, though. But Texas Tech already has a loss. BYU could still make the playoff even with the loss. So I guess this works out for the Big 12 Conference better this way. I seriously thought it should be cooler by now. I am not a summer guy, says Archangel. Yeah, like, it's back in the 80s here in Texas, and you're like last week it was in the 70s. It was actually kind of nice, and we're like, wow. It like just took a turn again. But tonight, when that cold front comes in, tomorrow doesn't get above 69, which is really nice. And a low of 49 with wind. And then 61, 72, and then it looks like we're in the 80s for good here as we go into late October, which is nice. Of course, I do spend most of my winter down in Miami, which is also very nice right now. 84. Next week it'll be in the high 70s, which is perfect Miami weather, actually. Fantastic. Ohio State's 24-3. Sayin is just keep playing there. Ole Miss 35-0. No surprise. Let's see. A&M Missouri could be an interesting game here coming up at 2:30. Miami getting punted. It's 2-2 in the ACC, getting kicked out of their. I thought Miami was the best team in the ACC last season, but like this year just didn't pan out for them. So Auburn, Vandy. Oh yeah, Vandy's still ranked 16. Here's the Virginia, 5-0 in the ACC, and Notre Dame 6-2. They don't have a conference here associated with them. So the Virginia won at 8-1 and 5-0. What? Wait, what? Wait a second. How are they 5-0 in conference and they've lost to NC State? What? Does anybody understand that? How is Virginia considered 5-0 in conference but lost to NC State? Wait, am I crazy? What happened? Oh, we're back? We're back? We're back. Hello? We're back? Something happened. What, like, am I, okay. Am I, like, absolutely insane? Like, how is that possible? Like, NC State never, like, left the conference. Also, NC State is considered 2-3 in conference with, oh my God, I can't even. Somebody's going to have to explain this to me. Hold on. We're going to ask the AI. Okay, how does UVA have a 5-0 record, conference record in football, but lost to NC State? What is Grok going to tell me here? This is crazy. It cannot be. It can't be right. I mean, ESPN is just wrong. Do you think the mark of the beast is close because of the changeup of money soon to happen? Man, what is the it's in Matthew, right? It's actually in a few of them, but where he says you must always be prepared, for we don't actually know the day that I will return. I'm paraphrasing, but you know, no, I don't really think the changeup of money has really much to do with it, to be honest. But I guess I would say that it is not for us to know, in a sense. But I don't actually think that the money thing is the tell. Okay. What? The new ID system? Like the whole real ID thing? That one's like, yeah, to be fair, like I'm not on board with the thing when you go to the airport and they like take your picture and they're like, we delete it afterwards. I'm like, hell no, there's no way you actually delete that afterwards. I don't believe that for 1 second. The University of Virginia is currently 8-1 with their sole loss coming against NC State. However, the game was a non-conference matchup, even though both teams are members of the ACC. In the expanded ACC, not every team plays every other team, conference team. Okay, they only play 8 games. UVA and NC State weren't slated to face off in a conference game, but they did schedule it as non-conference. That is insane. I cannot believe that this is actually possible. Like, oh my God. This is crazy to me. This is crazy. So, like, okay, you're only allowed 8 conference games. So I get that. So we should just schedule. We just like you could just schedule the rest of schedule all ACC games and only count. We should just schedule all ACC games and only count the ones we win. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Stanford. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. 8. Yeah. So crazy. Okay. So they're 5-0. That's crazy. We should just cherry pick them. Okay, so Duke at 4-1. So what's the rest of our schedule here? Oh, we lost to Georgia Tech. Oh, that was so stupid. That loss, man. We like what, the 3 turnovers? Oh my god, it's so bad. So bad. So bad. Okay, so if you beat Virginia head to head, well, no, Georgia Tech is 5-1. You have Georgia Tech at 5-1, which beat you. So it's like we got this like 3-way triangle of beating each other. Because Virginia and Georgia Tech don't play. Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. Okay. I mean, we could make some waves, to be fair. Like, we could shake things up if we were to beat UVA. It might be, I guess, yeah. If you somehow got us into the ACC championship, I guess it would be worth the $3.5 million, but I'm still not on board with it. Still not really on board with the whole, like, $3.5 million. Yeah. What else we have in, Also, I'm going to switch browsers because I hate all these stupid ads. There we go. St. John's, Seton Hall want to join the ACC. Interesting. At least they're in the Atlantic coast, man. At least they're on the Atlantic coast. At least it fits. Let's see, Houston. Okay, not in Houston will win this. Tennessee here. Oh, this is an interesting game. Arkansas at Michigan. We actually play both, Michigan State, sorry. We actually play both of these teams later this year. So if you want to get a preview, perhaps, of some Duke opponents, this would be a good one here. This is an interesting game. Dinbasta here, I believe, suspended for a half due to violation of the honor code. Apparently he swore in practice, which I'm not really sure what that means. But, you know, BYU has very strict rules. No. I could just never... I could, like... Notre Dame, okay. I could get... At least they let you drink. You know? I'm okay with the rest of the rules. You could have gotten away with the rest of the rules, but, like, these ones are a little hard. Too much. You can drink and swear at Notre Dame. Alabama, yeah, this was the good one there. All right, here we go. Resume play. That was a quick halftime. I feel like we had some fun there. Time flew by. As we resume here, 45-21. Let's talk some football here at the next TV timeout. Let's talk some NFL for tomorrow. And Duke comes down with the rebound here as we try to get it inside to Gungba. And Gungba going to go with the right hand. Little sky hook. Gets that one to go. Big Pat's got 8. As we continue the route. I do wonder, actually, does it do like 9. This is the address leaders, broadcast pick center. Players. I wonder if there's a way to get the clock 300. Interesting. 1200 seconds. I wonder if there's a way to get the clock. I could do, because I could do some fancier stuff with the. I wonder if there's a way to pull out the clock out of this. I could do some much fancier stuff with the header. Sort of thinking. Sequence number. Maybe we just do it with the last play, actually. That'd be interesting. I got some ideas. I have some ideas. A shirt that just reads "what?" Yeah, that would be that is kind of like one of the classic ones, like Caleb Foster going for 3. No what needed there. He just drills that one. Caleb Foster, as Western Carolina will take a quick timeout here. Duke once again coming out of the halftime locker room, 7-2 run. Duke very strong out of the halftime yet again for the 3rd straight game. At least we weren't losing this time though. So that works out. Yeah, because we could we could have a nice display up at the top with the full scorers and everything. Be very interesting. We might see Cameron Sheffield and Jack Scott this game. Yeah, we're definitely getting the walk-ons, man. We are for sure getting the walk-ons. I have zero doubts about this. Yep. I do wonder where they have the header. Huh. Is that low battery or something? Oh, low on battery on this thing. Gotta charge up. How is the Alabama? No, the Alabama and St. John's game is over. That one already happened. I guess I'll charge that. Yeah, Bama won. It was just a very high scoring game. Yeah. St. John's is pretty good. I mean, they were good last year. Honestly, they let me down last year, okay? I picked them to go deep in the tournament, and then they made an early exit, and my bracket was toast. So like it was also toast for a lot of other reasons, but like let's be real. I was like, oh yeah, Rick Pitino due for a run here. I thought they were going to the Final Four. No, they completely hosed me. So very upset with St. John's, but yeah, obviously they've got some talent. I mean, they play hard. So here's a Western Carolina still probing here, looking for opportunities, down almost 30 points, and they step on the end line. Step on the end line? No, actually, I will keep it. It got pushed. Be a foul. Okay. Inbound here, and he's got only 5 seconds to shoot. As that is a terrible foul. That is no. It's actually a terrible foul call. I don't mind the play by Sarr at all. I think Sarr is well within his rights to like go after that ball, but the foul call was bad, and that resets the shot clock to 20 for them. So I'm not a fan. That's not good. Clanker off the front rim. And Foster looking to put it on the deck. He gets completely rejected. Man, the guy had the block sized up the whole way. It was Dada there with the block. I mean, I'm big, you're small situation there. As Boozer with good defense. Way to move your feet, Cam. Rebound down to Dada again. Stansberry now going with the reverse. Wild shot. Still can't get it. Now finally comes down with a rebound as Duke. 33rd rebound for the Blue Devils. Evans should kick it out, and he does. Cam should have taken that shot. Nice extra pass. Finds Saw right in front of the Duke bench. Can't hit it. Still can't hit the three, actually. Duke only shooting 20% from beyond the arc. Not a good three-point shooting performance. Game! And Western Carolina will get the and one. That'll be number 4 for Western Carolina here. Justin Johnson as the scoreboard finally expands for the Catamounts. Yeah, the three-point shooting has been abysmal. I mean, just bad. Ooh, Evans tried the alley-oop to Gungba, almost made it work, but Gungba will go to the free throw line. I mean, what's the actual... Question, what do you think about the YouTube TV versus Disney debacle? Okay, all right. Here's this is interesting. So this is, to me, this whole thing is a little crazy. But you have to look at it from, so we'll take it from both sides, okay? YouTube TV is owned by YouTube, which is owned by Google, okay? You got a $3.4 trillion company, market capitalization of Google, $3.4 trillion company who has this product here that, like, it's a great, YouTube TV is a great product. I've had it since it was $35, which, by the way, people say, oh yeah, it's like, it was used to be $35. I can't believe it's now $85. But like, my dudes, like, $35 was never like the real price of YouTube TV, okay? That was the marketing promotional price to get users onto the platform. That's called loss leader. That's called loss leading, right? Where you just you sell at a loss because you want to claim market share. And that's what they did. The SAR drives down, but will be out of bounds. Good deflection there by the Catamounts. And so you bring everybody onto your platform, and then you slowly raise the price afterwards. And that makes total sense. That's like perfectly acceptable business practice. That's what people do. You just land grab, total market share. Okay, so now you're in the situation, and if you're Disney, Disney went off and bought this asset, right? It bought ESPN and spent a ton of money on it, and it's basically been in decline ever since, right? Like, the only thing you ever hear about ESPN and at Disney is like how they keep laying people off and cutting back and reducing the number of shows and, or this, that, and the other thing. And like they're sort of like basically consolidate as much as they can, presumably because it costs like the rights cost so much. Okay, fine. What's the bizarre piece of this is that here you have somebody who owns the broadcasting rights to the sports, ESPN, who can also broadcast the sports themselves. Now, this never used to happen, right? You had ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and then ESPN had the sports. But back in the day, like when we were all growing up, ESPN did not have its own app. Like you had to go through the cable company to get ESPN. So it was not both the owner and the distributor of the content. Now it can distribute its own content. So it has what it thinks to be some leverage, where it basically says, well, I own the content and you and it has some value, and I can give it to people for $22 a month. Okay, you know what? That would work if your product, your end user experience were good, but they're not. They suck. They're actually the worst of all the streaming services. ESPN is like the worst. It buffers all the time. You can't DVR it. It has replays, but they don't always show up. You can't rewind and scrub to find the plays you want. It's a bad streaming experience, okay? And also you can't just watch the channel. You can't just go one to the other. Like if you're on YouTube TV and you're watching ESPN, you go one game to the next. You don't have to restart the stream. And so they basically they have these whatever 1-year deals with YouTube TV or whatever. Yeah, it keeps crashing the app. Exactly. It's a terrible experience. So they get these 1-year deals with YouTube TV, and they basically say, okay, YouTube TV, ESPN knows exactly how many people watch its channels on YouTube TV. All right. Let's say it's I don't know. I think it's on the order between 4 and 5 million or something like that from what I've been reading. And so you basically just do a calculation where you say, okay, so, and apparently YouTube pays them $15 per person. Okay. So you say, well, what's supposed to happen here? So $15 per person, and so I can get $15 per person if I go through YouTube TV. Or once the same price that Spectrum pays its customers. Yeah, I don't know what Spectrum pays its customers, to be honest, right? I don't know. I don't know those numbers. But so I can either get $15 from YouTube TV, or I can get $22 if I sell directly to the customer. So I get a delta of +7. So you just do the math. You say well, how many people are if I don't give this to YouTube TV, how many people basically only watch YouTube TV for the purposes of sports that I can then convert? And you think well, of the 4.5 million, if I get some amount, then I can make my money. And then you say, well, YouTube TV, you got to pay me more. And so you're just essentially just doing the math. I think where it falls apart for ESPN is here. It falls apart for them because at the end of the day, YouTube is backed by Google, which is $3.4 trillion market cap. And then Disney is only 260 billion. It's like 300, right? So we're talking an order of magnitude of like 10. It's a full order of magnitude. So at the end of the day, what YouTube could do is just be like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to bid on all your sports content, and I'm just going to take it away from you. And I'm going to pay a price that you cannot afford because I'm 10 times bigger than you. And I don't care. I'm just going to run you out of business. So they could do that. And that's why like ESPN has already sort of seen this happen with the F1 stuff, right? If you were in the Discord, I think I was talking with Derek about this, where Apple came in and took away F1. I think starting next season, F1 is going to be on Apple TV. And I'm not clear. It's not clear to me if that is exclusive or not. But in any case, you essentially, and all the streaming services, like Prime Video took away Thursday Night Football. They own that pretty much exclusively. You have like Netflix and YouTube TV. Is also like Netflix did a Christmas game with the NFL. YouTube TV did a game with the NFL. And so like you basically have the big tech companies like threatening to eat up the content. Apple TV wants to abolish F1 TV since people can watch for cheaper there in the States. Okay. Yeah. So like that's the threat. So like Disney is trying to like extract as much value as it can, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to work for Disney because they think they have the leverage with the content because they own the content. Like, okay, they own the content today, but like if you make this such a pain for people to get your content because you're like basically price gouging them, they're just going to take it away from you eventually because they're bigger than you. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to work out for Disney. I think Disney's going to have to cave at some point. It's like you're poking the $3.4 trillion bear, and like you think you have leverage, but like you really don't. And it's not going to end well. Someone's going to get slapped. It's like the conclusion of that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of curious which one goes for longer, whether the government stays shut down. Like which one resolves first, the government shutdown or the YouTube TV and the Disney thing? And I don't really know. I'm not sure which one is going to get resolved first, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that's the long and short of it. The crazy thing is when you have this two monopolies, right? You have a monopoly on content distribution, which is basically YouTube. Like YouTube owns through like not YouTube TV, but through YouTube itself, like has this massive user base that it can distribute whatever content it wants to, whenever it wants to. And then you have the monopoly of like the sports monopoly, effectively, like especially when it comes to like college basketball and some of the NBA stuff. And now that like ESPN bought like the TNT rights, right? Like you don't no longer have NBA on TNT. So you have two monopolies basically trying to like gouge each other. And at the end of the day, the consumer is the one that's going to lose. Because for anybody that takes Econ 101 or ends up going to business school and takes the business school version of Econ 101, which is a very dumbed down, watered down version of economics because that's what business school is. Monopolies exist to extract all consumer surplus from the market. Basically, there is no supply demand curve when it comes to monopoly. Nice shot there by Cam Boozer in the corner, by the way, 67-33. There is no supply demand curve in the monopoly world. The monopolist sets the price at which they can extract all the value from the market and leave the consumer with zero. And that's the And that's essentially what's happening, because the problem is if YouTube caves and says, okay, we'll pay you more, Disney, right? Right? Then it's like, okay, let's say the YouTube TV price goes up $10. Then ESPN is going to turn around and increase the price of its subscription by $8, let's say. And then when they have the negotiation the next time, they're going to say, well, now my math is different. Now I'm not doing math against $22 a customer that I could steal from you. I'm doing math against $30 a customer. So the problem is if you cave once, it's just like the cycle. Everything will just keep getting more expensive. And again, the consumer will lose. So there it is. Skylark, welcome into chat, by the way. And they wonder why people pirate stuff. It's literally too expensive to watch what you want. I mean, it's crazy because like you have YouTube TV, you have like some people have NFL Sunday Ticket, some people have like you have Prime, you have to watch all the NFL games, you have Netflix. Like at the end of the day, yeah, it's like $150 to watch everything you want. It's like more than it used to cost for cable, right? So it is what it is. The 67 and the students are doing the 67. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm going to charge up there. Caleb Foster has been killing it. Well, he's got 7 points and 4 rebounds. So speaking of Disney, I still watch Ratatouille. It gets me hungry. Speaking of getting hungry, I actually had, it's almost been 2 hours since I had lunch, but also all Disney movies on YouTube are gone too. Yeah, of course. That makes total sense, right? So. Where are we at now? So, Foster, I don't actually have assists on here, actually. That's the interesting... where we are. 4 assists for Caleb Foster. Actually, 4 assists for Cam Boozer too. So he's got that going, which is nice. Plug that out. All right. 67-33. $12 minutes and 10 seconds left. And Western Carolina just throws it out of bounds. So that is the very long-winded explanation of what's going on. I think we'll probably have another timeout here at the under 12, would be my guess. Caden and Cam both into the game at the same time as Kamenia puts up another 3. That looks good, yeah. Kamenia's got his second 3-pointer of the game. He hit one early and has got his points off of free throws lately. Kind of gone quiet ever since. 3-pointer on the way for Western Carolina. No good there. And Caleb Foster comes out with it. Off the rebound. Foster driving in. Foster trying to go off glass. Caleb Foster, 2 more. He's got 9. Please beat UNC. I think we'll be fine against Carolina. I mean, we're basically the class of the ACC anyway, so... the schedule is interesting. We don't really have many difficult away games, actually, this season. We do that road trip out to California, where we have we play Stanford and Cal, but both away. It's a little 2-man game between Caden and Gungba here. Gungba couldn't get it in, but the rebound was not secured by Western Carolina as Cam Boozer lays it in for 2. So... there's that. 2 more for Cam. He's got 19, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. At some point, Cam is for sure having a triple-double. He's just too good of a player, man. Oh, Carolina got caught there. He's got shot clock violation for Western Carolina. What? They let it go. Okay. I guess they deemed that the shot had left his hands before we had the zeros there. I thought it was about to be a shot clock violation. Foster around the Gungba screen. Going to put up for Gungba. too tall. Too tall as Gongbo doesn't come down with the alley-oop. In transition, Carolina scores 2 more there. 37 for the Catamounts, who only have 1 timeout left, as I just seem to have noticed. 9:53 to go. Oh, Kamenia with a laser pass that gets intercepted. He was trying to get into the paint for Gongba, couldn't. 3 on the way here for the Catamounts, who need to score in a hurry. Not that they're actually going to get back in this game, but anyway, the 3 is no good. Caden to Cam. Cam's going to put up 3. Cam's got it. 22 points for Cameron Boozer. Thoughts on the Bama St. John's? I think the Johnnies are overrated, and man, can Phylon and Holloway play. But yeah, we've had folks discussing that one in chat throughout the afternoon. So Bama 103. I mean, I don't know what to think of Bama really anymore. I mean, we beat them easily. So, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, Alabama out last season was like, oh man, Alabama. They score so many points. Yeah. Everybody scores a lot of points until they run into Duke. So I don't know. Cal is starting to piss me off. The men's soccer team knocked us out of the ACC tournament the other day, 2-0. We tied them last year. Oh dear. I mean, it's definitely. I think it's great that the Skylark that the game happened. Like, I actually like seeing these early season matchups. I'm glad it's like a trend. I feel like Duke kind of started the trend, and I'm glad other teams are picking up on it. You know, with the whole like Arizona thing, and then like Shire has like scheduled very, very tough. He's scheduled very high caliber games early in the season. Kamenia is going to go for 3 again in the corner. That's just short, actually, slightly offline. And now other teams are kind of copying it because, like, it really is only upside. Like, the way that the committee does the scoring, right? Like, if you losing to a quad 1 team doesn't actually hurt you very much, but winning the game really helps you a lot. So it is a bit of an asymmetric bet. Like, you learn a lot about your team. The team gets a lot of good experience. You play basically a tournament game early on without much to lose. I mean, if you lose, yeah, it shows up as a loss on your record, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really hurt your chances at the NCAA tournament. Or certainly not making it. Could hurt some seeding, but like, yeah. Oh, I mean, this is for sure 2-0. There's no way that Carolina's coming back. This is a 0% chance that Western Carolina is actually going to do anything here. Malik Brown hits a 3. Maybe that was the dagger there, as we have 8:10 to go. Oh, Malik Brown can't get that. Actually, sorry, he does get the rebound, but then that pass is intercepted. That's another turnover here. The 6th turnover for the Blue Devils. I thought Carolina was going to try for a 3. No. Here's Kelly. Oh, Kamenia with the steal. Great hands. We got Duke players on the floor all over the place. Dame Sarr comes out of the pile. Sarr drives it in. Can't finish the layup. Okay, Sarr has a problem finishing layups, people. This is not good. On the other end, the alley-oop. Carolina 43, Duke 80. Dame Sarr is setting a trend where he cannot finish layups. And it is not a great trend. Oh my gosh, he just dribbled it off his foot. Oh my. Mamma mia. Mamma mia. This Indiana. Are you watching, Cat Fan? Are you watching football Indiana or basketball Indiana? I don't see Indiana playing. Unless they're not ranked. I don't like the whole Dame Sarr, what Dame Sarr's got going on here. That's not good. That's not good. right, folks. So let's go over the schedule. Let's do some NFL here tomorrow. All right, what do we got? Okay, worst game of the season so far. By far, terrible game. This one is super interesting. This Atlanta at the Colts, which is actually in Germany. I have Drake London and Tyler Warren playing. Basically, these guys are going to be like halfway done before I get up and done with the dog walk. And actually, then I have to go to church. I'm not going to go to this evening. I'll go tomorrow. That's at 9. That's at 9:30. That's at 9:30. No, it isn't. Yeah, it's at 9:30. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that game. The Colts need a bounce back win, but Atlanta's defense is pretty elite. Like, you might have another deer in the headlights moment for here for Daniel Jones. I think Atlanta I actually think Atlanta might win this one. This New York and Chicago game, I'm betting big on this one for my fantasy, yo. I need Jackson Dart to have a really big game. But like the weather's not going to be good, so I'm actually very hesitant about this. This will happen while I'm at the gym. Buffalo, Miami. Oh my gosh, it's a divisional. Baltimore. This game could be high scoring actually. Baltimore, Minnesota. Baltimore has 0 defense. This could be a high scoring game. It could be a good one for JJ McCarthy actually. This would be an interesting JJ McCarthy game, I think. If I could pick somebody up, JJ McCarthy, that's an interesting one for JJ. Like maybe I'm a fan of McCarthy. I just like maybe they finally figured something out. I don't know. Also, we want to talk about distraction. Our Duke football team is about to kick off, so we're gonna have to somehow come up with that. Somebody has McCarthy, I guess. Somebody's using McCarthy on their bench. Oh, yeah. Your Pack hosting the Eagles. That's an interesting one for my fantasy squad because my opponent has Josh Jacobs and I have Saquon Barkley. So one way or the other, this fantasy matchup is going to come down to Monday night as Cameron Boozer hits another three-pointer. He has 25 points so far. It's actually kind of incredible. And you know what? I just figured out. It is my fault. I have a problem with the stats that the minutes and the points are the same. That's the problem. Why is that? Did I make an error? Yeah, so either way, my fantasy game is coming down to Monday night, which is not what I wanted. So once again, user error here. How the heck is that even possible? It's going to be a lot of plays in this game that'll be highlight reels. In this basketball game, you think, for the guys? Oh, in Indiana, I see. Gungba, long pass over to Brown. Pass to Evans. Evans can't hit the three, though. Oh, that's the problem. That's the issue. Wow, that's a typo and a half. Oh my, that is a bad. Oh. Maybe my Pack will win by a field goal or a turnover. I have no idea. It would be nice for a comeback win. Yeah, the Archangel. The interesting one about the Packers to me is I still can't figure out Jordan Love, man. Like, it is just like some games he looks like the second coming of Favre, and other games it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I could play quarterback better. It's so weird. It's so weird. Just like the Jekyll and Hyde nature of the whole thing. It's just bizarre to me. I don't know. Oh, beautiful ball movement here by the Blue Devils, man. Kamenia can't hit the three, but Evans will pick up the rebound. He can't get it. Malik Brown will clean up that mess, and Malik Brown will score. Okay, all right. I see what I did wrong here. Seven. Row 1, 8, 1. Especially against teams that are bad. Yeah. That's the crazy part. I can't figure it out, right? Okay. So I figured it out. The problem though is that the minutes do show up as 0 because that's literally what we've had. 0 minutes. These guys have we're not getting the minutes data from ESPN because it's not there. So my incredible scheme was thwarted, and yeah. Anyway, at least it's correct. All right, that's going to be the final. Okay, so let's go back to let's go back to what I was saying. Okay, I cannot for the life of me understand why Jordan Love just can't seem to it's like playing down to the level of the competition. I don't get it. The Panthers, however, very interesting team. I have a good friend who's a big Panthers fan. I find it hilarious, by the way. Apparently the Panthers had a fan stream thing, kind of like this, actually, but obviously much more successful, that actually gave up at the start of after the first couple of weeks of the year, because they basically said, well, we're spending too much time on the stream, and the Panthers haven't been good for a long time, and we love the Panthers, but we just can't bear to do it, or to keep doing the broadcasts or the stream or whatever. And then all of a sudden the Panthers started winning, and they're like, maybe we'll come back, and they were like, no, don't. All the fans were like, no, you've reverse jinxed it. I thought that was just hilarious. This Cleveland New York game is going to be so painful, man. I mean, what a painful game to watch. God, terrible. New England at Tampa, fantastic. This should be very, very interesting. Tampa coming in off the bye, by the way. I'm debating whether or not to play Rachaad White. I don't actually know if... Yeah, I don't know whether to play White into New England. I mean, they did a number on Bijan. Bijan rushed for 40-something yards. He was okay fantasy-wise because the way that Atlanta uses him in the offense is basically a wide receiver. So he had a lot of receptions and if you're doing PPR, he gets a lot of points out of that. But Rashad White isn't really used by Tampa in the same way. So, kind of tough. I don't really know how to go with that one. New Orleans to Carolina. Interesting game. Oh, poor Cat fan was being a Dolphins fan. Poor Dolphins. I don't know. Maybe they show up tomorrow against Buffalo. Divisional matchup at home. Maybe they show up. The Bills have got this year, actually. I mean, they lost to Atlanta. They lost to New England and Atlanta in back-to-back weeks. Carolina and New Orleans is interesting because it's a divisional matchup. I mean, New Orleans has really struggled this year, but like maybe if you want to believe in Carolina, Carolina needs to win this game big. Put it that way. Jacksonville and Houston, this game will be low scoring. Not very interesting. Arizona and Seattle could be interesting. I was looking at Brissett in the case that Dart wasn't like this weather. The weather here in Chicago is really bad. But I don't like playing Jacoby Brissett into Seattle. The whole like divisional matchup, I think this game is going to be very low scoring. It's like below 20, right? Below 20 for each team. We got a lot of divisional matchups here, except this Detroit-Washington. This would have been a good game if Jaden Daniels were playing, but he's not. This could be entertaining. And then, yeah, this game should be entertaining. Philadelphia and Green Bay should be entertaining, but yeah, it's going to be tough to watch since all the whole YouTube TV thing. Oh, we got Iffy. Iffy is in the game. Yes. Ufuchukwu is finally in the game. I think, what I'm told. What I heard. Yes, number 15. Fantastic. We've got it. Yeah, look at that. Subbing in for Duke. I love it. Iffy is in, man. This is good. This is good. I want to see it. I want to see it. Seven-footer, man, transfer. Like, we need more. I'd be really interested when Ohio State and Indiana have to play each other. Dude, they don't play each other, do they? Who said we were getting Scott? Scott's in, man. All the walk-ons are in. Everyone's in. Everyone's in, man. We got the whole second team in. Third team in at that point. That drive might have clinched it for Mendoza. So far, Duke and UConn 0-0 so far in that Duke-UConn matchup. It's our football team. I'll flip over to Duke football right after and be watching that while I grab a snack and such. But as Carolina converts 2 free throws, still a 34-point game. Remember, the betting line was 34.5. That was the spread. So you're like right on it. It's crazy to me how Vegas gets it so close. Caden with a little right-handed leaner. Yep. Brings that to 36 with 3:20 to go. I think I might have to condense the line spacing, I think, or something. It's just too many players, man. We'll have to see if it still becomes an issue throughout the season. Like how far up do we actually have to go? Holy smokes. You know, we might have to come up with something slightly different. Like, oops. Slightly different layout. Like, what if we move over here? Tom Brady's son is a big Cooper Flag fan. He said he'll collect a card. Nice. A little layout change over here. A little bigger camera. Gonna have to condense our header to be like that. Crazy. We have to think of some options here. How this looks like at the end of the game. Oh my gosh. Compact mode is even smaller. We might have to go even smaller for compact mode. We're still missing one Duke player. Yeah, when you get too many of them out here, it's like crazy. All right, it's only 2:40 to go. Sheffield putting it on the deck. Sheffield going up, couldn't get it to, and Iffy couldn't come down with a rebound, but Scott actually comes down with it. Princeton transfer, I think it is. Scott puts it on the deck. Oh, actually, that was a nice looking drive. Iffy comes with the offensive board. Duke saves it. Caden to Scott out for three. Three, yes. Jack Scott for three. Walk-ons, or actually, no, the bench warmers have points. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. That's actually really cool. It's like last year. Now I'm completely blanking. Oh my god. Hubbard. It's like Spencer Hubbard time. Same thing. Duke 91. So 54. Caden kicks it out here to Sheffield. Puts it on the deck again. Couldn't get it. Duke can't come down with the rebound. Somehow we've lost the clock and the entire scoreboard graphic. And now 73 ticks left to go. The fan. Goes to Harris. And Iffy? Iffy for two? Yes, Iffy for two. He's actually going to get an and one out of this. Oh, yeah, he got hit. He got hit by Kaba. Duke football is on right now, too. Yep. I'll be switch. Oh, apparently we're up 7-0 right now, so we just scored. I'm going to be watching the football game for a little bit, then I got to go out. I got to meet somebody at 4. So we're going to take the dog out to a nice park at 4. So the pup is going to enjoy himself today while the weather's good. Tomorrow the weather's not going to be as good. Almost a 40-point advantage here for the Blue Devils. Yeah, this will be a W. $47 points. I think this is barring any other scores. Duke 93, Catamounts 54. Duke will hold yet another opponent to under 60. And so that'll be a nice little feather in the cap here. Oh well. No, actually I lost the audio, but that's okay. I don't need the audio anymore because my headphones ran out of battery. That's okay. I don't need the audio anymore. This game is toast. Better lighting. Caden can't quite get it, and he will just steal it from Carolina as he tried to go in for another one. That was Fisher Brown for the Carolina Catamounts. They got it ripped away from him. by Caden Boozer from behind. Kind of funny. Caden's just like, give me that. Give me that ball. Poor number 20 on I want to say Coastal Carolina, but it's not. On Western Carolina, it's like looks like he's just in a totally different league, man. It's like Caden Boozer's just in a totally different league than the other dudes. It's kind of sad, actually. Yeah, 30 ticks left on this one. All right. I think that's going to be it, right? 95-54. We're going to get another score here by Western, maybe. Maybe. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to have to put something up if they want it now. Remember, no stream on Tuesday. We'll be back next Friday night for the Indiana State game. Should be another game similar to this. That'll be our tune-up to Kansas. But look, folks, appreciate everybody hanging out on this Saturday afternoon. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe, everybody. Hopefully your favorite NFL team does you good and wins for you tomorrow. Good luck to our Duke football team, currently up at Storrs, Connecticut. And we'll be flipping over to that one in a second. Thanks, everybody, for the wonderful time this afternoon. Great game, obviously, by Cam Boozer here. 24 points, 8 rebounds. Actually, just 2 rebounds short of the double-double. Didn't quite get there. Caden with 14 is the second. So the Boozer brothers collectively with 39 of the 95 points, scoring just about 40% of Duke's offense there. Foster got 9. Malik Brown with 10. Great to see. And actually, Gungba, which is off the screen at the moment, also with 10. Gungba had 10 and 7, so he fell just short of a double-double. New Killer says their team already won. They're on the bye week. Congratulations. You don't have to sweat it out then. Caleb Foster, 9.6 rebounds there, and Malik Brown, 10 points, 4 boards. So great all-around game for Duke, as we expected, being able to pad the stats a little bit. Basically exactly how we thought it would go. So, all right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Love you. Appreciate the support, and we will see each other next Friday. Best of luck to Duke on Tuesday. I'll be watching. I'll just be in a different part of the country, so and not home. In any case, stay safe, everybody, and as always, go Duke.